Hey guys, Drifter here. League Play has been added to Black Ops Cold War in the most recent update. I did all of my placements last night, so all of the gameplay you're seeing today is from League Play itself, so it should be a little bit more competitive than usual. The mode is kind of complicated, so today I'm going to do my best to explain to you how it works. I'm going to be talking about how the ranking system works, how the skill matching works, the class restrictions, the differences with public matches, offering you some general tips and tricks to level up, and near the latter half of the video I'm going to offer my opinion about the quality of League Play and if it holds up to Black Ops 2, if you should be playing it. But first, we have a sponsor to talk about. February 2021 is finally here, which means that spring is back in Texas and I can go jogging again in my old 80s tank tops to keep on exercising, and the Raid Shadow Legends Valentine's event is right around the corner. You don't want to miss it. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Most of you that live in more temperate climates are probably stuck in your house, so while you're waiting for spring, I'd recommend you download Raid Shadow Legends and check out one of the 13 playable factions in the game. Today we're going to be talking about the lore of one of the playable factions, the High Elves. Okay, so the High Elves are the classic good guys, mostly. They live in the walled kingdom of Arvia, they're beautiful to look at, their queen is a powerful sorceress, and they've been fighting evil since before that was even the cool thing to do. The problem is, it's just not always clear what side they're on and who they view as evil and who they don't. Right now I'm focusing really hard on PvP. I'm trying to get myself some red units that deal a lot of damage and a few more support units so that I can really power through the player rankings. Raid recently released its biggest update ever, which included the Doom Tower, a 120 floor vertical dungeon with secret rooms, difficult bosses, and special challenges. The advertising material says I'm supposed to say it's been a blast, but no, it lives up to its name and it's absolutely brutal. But I'm kind of like one of those players that sees Dark Souls as a challenge. I'm gonna get good and I'm gonna conquer this tower. So what are you waiting for? Download Raid Shadow Legends today with the link in the description. If you do so, not only will you support my channel, but they're gonna give you 50,000 silver for free, 50 gems, 5 mystery shards, a one-day experience boost, an energy refill, a clan boss key, and you get the free champion Hexweaver this month, which is a dark elf, and it's a champion that I still have not been able to unlock. So it's a really nice package. It'll be fun, it'll entertain you until summer is here, and it'll support me on YouTube. So click that link and download. If you do choose to download, all of those rewards will be available to you in the treasure chest in the upper right-hand corner after you finish the tutorial. Raid Shadow Legends legitimately helps keep this channel running, so I do hope you check them out. But for now, let's move back into Call of Duty land and talk about League Play. If you want to access League Play, you can do it from the main menu of the game. It's a little bit unusual. I thought it would be a playlist, but you actually have to go in where you would find campaigns, zombies, etc. It has its own little tab like that, along with the many other things that you can now launch from the main menu. Once you're in, you'll need to remake all 10 of your custom classes. When you click on them, you'll notice that they're blank. They did not carry over from multiplayer at all. These are specific to League Play, so there's no overriding, so you don't have to worry about losing your favorite classes. You'll probably want to choose different stuff than public matches anyway, since you're going to want different things for a competitive mode. The main menu will show you that a lot of things are restricted to try to mirror current CDL rule sets. Treyarch isn't enforcing the gentleman agreements that the pro players have, so they're sticking primarily with the actual, legitimate on-paper rule set, so it's still going to look a little bit different than what you're probably going to see on Twitch tournaments. Most notably, in League Play, you cannot use light machine guns, tactical rifles, shotguns, launchers, or any kind of special weapon. On top of massive class restrictions, you'll notice that a lot of suppressors, damage-heavy barrels, akimbo, and flashlights have all been removed. You're not allowed to use suppressors to stay off the radar. The damage barrels can do goofy things with headshots and time to kill. Akimbo is broken in a pro player's hands, so that's gone. And the flashlights help you spot people in what is considered an uncompetitive manner, so that's gone. You'll notice that when you're creating these classes, you don't even have the option to equip these things. Score streaks are overall much more restricted as well. About half to maybe 40% of them have survived. Very little of the tactical and lethal gear survived. You're pretty much stuck between frag and Simtex. Then you've got smoke, flash, and stun. Not much of the actual specialist abilities are up either. Trophy systems are going to be your friend. Most people are running those. And about 1/3 of all the perks are gone. For whatever reason, a lot of the perks are restricted in this mode because they're considered to be anti-competitive, but they're still good in pubs. A bit of personal advice when you're building your classes: Simtex grenades, smoke grenades, and trophy systems are your friends. A lot of people are going to be running perk greed so that they'll have tac masks, so the stuns won't help you a whole lot. The smokes help you push choke points, the Simtex just go boom, and the trophy systems keep you from going boom. I have those on the vast majority of my classes. Some other things that are your friends are going to be your real life friends. Playing with real friends is going to be much better than playing with randoms. Randoms will drag you down, and many of them are going to quit when they start losing. So once you're done getting your squad together and making all your classes, you're ready to go and do your placement matches. There are 3 game modes: Control, Search and Destroy, and Hardpoint. They have slightly different timers and point setups for this particular competitive rule set, but they'll all play very familiarly. One thing that is different is that team damage is on. You can kill your teammates by shooting them. You can blow them up with grenades and score streaks. So this one is really easy to screw up if you start calling in airstrikes or spamming out Simtex. Be a little bit mindful of your teammate's position. After you're done playing, it only takes 5 matches to place and get your rank. Most competitive games require 10 matches, but for whatever reason, Call of Duty wants to do this faster. You only have 5 matches to place, which is good. I didn't have to grind it all night. The difficulty of these lobbies, in theory, or at least are supposed to vary a lot as it tries to find the right spot for you. If you lose, it should get a little easier. If you win, it should get a little bit harder, and it's going to kind of move you up and down and try to find the skill level that you're supposed to be at. This is not always true. There's some randomness to it, and speaking of randomness, there's some individual performance measuring going on as well. We're going to talk about this more later, but the individual performance measuring of how well you placed on your team doesn't seem to be very effective. That in itself appears to be quite random. We'll talk a lot about that in the opinions section. So once you've done your 5 placement matches, you will finally get your rank. And once you get your rank, this is where everything starts getting really confusing. There are 5 total brackets of ranked, with competitor being the lowest 50% of all players, advanced 50% plus. Then you've got expert, elite, and master, with master being top 2% of all players. I like to think of these as being bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond, but you can call them whatever you want. They're just your sort of tier divisions. Now what's interesting is that this is sort of your skill tier, and then inside of these tiers you have skill divisions that also level you up from bronze to diamond. So you've got these divisions, and then you've got the more traditional ranks inside the divisions. You are leveled up based on how many gems you collect, little red gems, little ruby looking like gems. These gems are earned from your placement and performance in various matches. You earn gems for winning, and you earn more for winning in streaks, and I believe you also earn more for placing well. There is a different set of ranks from 1 to 30 that move up based on your experience and how many of said gems that you collect. And also, the more gems you collect, your rank will move up from like 1 bronze to like diamond 1 to like diamond 30. Then you have subdivisions inside these divisions. I'm in subdivision Mongoose 7, and what you're doing is you're competing against other people that are also trying to collect gems and move up in ranks. To the best of my knowledge, you can't lose gems, you can only gain gems. So in order to move up in ranks, you want to gain as many gems as possible through your individual performance and win streaks. Honestly, this part is just painfully confusing to me. To be honest with you, I'm making a video that's supposed to explain League play, and I'm still not exactly sure how all of this works. I feel very overwhelmed by this. There feels like there's about 3 or 4 different tiers of rankings with overlapping ideas going on here, and gem collection and point accumulation, kind of like Apex and other games. And it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, but that's probably not the important part. The important part of this is unfortunately the bad part, which is that you can only move up a skill tier after so many days. Now it's currently set on about 2.5 days. So depending on where you're placed, at the end of 2.5 days, you can move out of that skill tier, say from your competitor rank up to elite or advanced or whatever like that. So if you get placed in a skill division, no matter how hard you grind or how long you play over the next couple of days, you can't move out of that division until the timer is done. That's very depressing in its own way, that there's just no possibility of you just grinding up in levels. Like every other ranked game that I play ever, once you hit a certain elo or a certain point accumulation goal, you just move up in level. It doesn't matter when it happened, what time of day, who you were playing against. As long as you hit that elo score, you're moving up. But this one is timed, and most importantly, it's a point accumulation game. So what you really need to do to get out of those skill divisions is that you need to grind to be at the very top of the scoreboard before the timer runs out. At the end of each season, you get icons and banner rewards based on your rank. I was personally hoping for camo or skins like Advanced Warfare, which we had, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, but I guess there wasn't time for that. So we get little banners and icons, which I think of as stickers. And that's League play in a nutshell, which is not really much of a nutshell, and we're lacking some explanation because I don't think anybody on planet Earth has truly figured out this system yet. So now let's move into the opinion part of the video. Opinion number 1 is that there is oddly loose skill-based matchmaking in effect for a ranked mode. Most of the people that I watched streaming this yesterday and today got put into easier lobbies than their public match lobbies. Like gamers, like I'm going to use Exclusive Ace as an example for a lot of this. I watched his stream while I was doing sit-ups today. He got matched with really easy players, performed really well for the most part, smashed them, and it was just easier than his public matches, which is bizarre because you would think that ranked would be more competitive. Now, mine was significantly more competitive, but his wasn't, so it was kind of random, a little bit of a mixed bag for me. This doesn't make a lot of sense, and I don't know why this is happening, but it is happening, and it's very normal. What's probably worse is that the ranks or the tier divisions that you get put in are almost completely random. So keep in mind that the competitor division is the bottom of all players. It's effectively Iron Division or Bronze. I saw pro players win all 5 of their placement games, often with some of their teammates quitting, while having a 10 kill death ratio and an like an 800 score per minute and all this stuff. They got put in competitor. So after 1v4ing an enemy team and having super anomalous stats and never losing, they got put in the lowest skill bracket. I watched Exclusive Ace win 5 out of 5 and smash his competitors, and he got put in the lowest possible skill bracket. I played kind of mediocrely tonight. I played some decently sweaty people and some dum-dums, and I got put in the lowest possible skill bracket. But then I watched other people win 1 game out of 5 or 2 games out of 5 against enemies of wildly varying skills and get put in expert or advanced or master for seemingly no reason. It doesn't make any sense for this. Any elo system worth its salt should be able to recognize a pro player and a streamer and a regular gamer and sort them into the proper categories. It's not doing any of that. Opinion number 3 is that they're trying to measure independent performance kind of like Overwatch did. I think it's trying to piggyback off of the skill matching system that's already in place, but it's not working at all. Because of what I talked about, people getting placed in seemingly random divisions, it's seemingly random what your individual performance rewards and doesn't, and it just doesn't feel rewarding. Of all of the YouTubers, streamers, pro players, the people in the Carnage chat that I've talked to, pretty much nobody seems to like it. They like the feeling of the competitive matches, but they don't like this ranking system at all, which is opinion number 4. The ranking system is designed to be arbitrarily complex. I'm a stats expert in a sense. I've been doing like gaming stats for 10 years. I have, college degrees that were very math and stats heavy, and I would like to think of myself as a smart person. The majority of you that have subscribed to this channel probably think of me as a smart person or look to me for guides for some reason, and I struggled to kind of figure this out and understand what was going on. It was not clear to me, and I had to research it and ask other people, so I have no clue what a average gamer of average intelligence is going to understand about this system. And on top of its arbitrary complexity, it kind of obscures your real skill level, because you can be a rank 1 diamond player in the competitive division, which is like the bottom of the game, but you can still be diamond rank at the bottom competitive, but you can be an advanced diamond rank 20, which is higher than a diamond 1 rank competitor. It's so confusing. The bigger problem with this is opinion number 5, and that's that time locking promotions and tying them to leaderboard point stacking instead of elo is awful. The way a competitive system is supposed to work in Fantasyland is it is some form of elo system based off of chess elo. You see this in Overwatch elo, CSGO elo. Apex Legends, I think, has a unique one where there's a little economy going in that you have to spend your points to get in and you have to win those points back. But ultimately, that's just a more simplified elo system. This game rewards playing a lot, grinding a lot, collecting gems, and getting to the top of the leaderboard, much like public matches would be like who has the most points in the game. It doesn't seem to take into effect your elo a whole lot. It definitely does, and the people that grind more and have more stuff will have higher elo, but it doesn't seem to be a true skill ranking. Rather, your true skill ranking is tied to your skill division, which is different than your rank, and your skill division is your competitor, advanced, master, whatever, and that's almost in a sense like an invisible elo that you can't see. So In my opinion, what this system was designed for is to reward grinders. It's going to reward people that play the most amount of League play and not necessarily the people that win the most. And it's going to reward those people and increase the player base and monthly active users on the game, or at least inside that community, which is probably just like looks really good for their metrics. Opinion number 6 is that some of the items that the pro players have banned have still slipped through the cracks. You can still run double trophies, you can still run thermals on some of the guns, which totally negate the purpose of the smoke grenades, and it leads to some odd and confusing engagements when I'm kind of like trying to play CDL fantasy time for the most part, but a lot of the gameplay you're seeing, I'm using guns that currently are not allowed in CDL because of a lot of stuff, but it doesn't really mirror the CDL matches that it's supposed to. The last opinion I will have, number 7, is that when I get into actual games, they're pretty fun. Like, if I get into a real competitive game against an organized team and we're playing competitive and trying to win something, it's fun. It does what competitive is supposed to do. You sweat, you go balls to the wall, you try really hard, you show off your skills, and that's great. That part of it is actually great and it works. But pretty much every other part is fundamentally broken, and it's confusing. I will say that Ranked is off to a rough start. However, Treyarch appears to be putting in some work to reform it or fix it. We got a patch about 24 hours after launch that redid a lot of the inventory restrictions and added a lot of new restrictions, so it's moving in the direction of being like a CDL match. They added in some quitting penalties, which I guess weren't there before, which is confusing, cleaned up some bugs, and did some housekeeping, so we're rapidly getting little patches to move this in the right direction. However, the overall mode is a complete mess. I don't understand why public matches have strict skill-based matchmaking, but Ranked has looser skill-based matchmaking, and I cannot understand my own rank in Ranked mode, nor how it is that I should go about ranking up, except that I do understand that it's tied very strongly to the amount of time that I play and not to the elo or the amount of wins or win percentage that I'm getting. It just rewards grinding. So overall, I think that the ranking system is terrible, and I'm not going to be playing this mode until it gets a major overhaul. Now, me personally, I only won 2 out of 5 matches. I got put in competitor. I'm not very good at ranked. Maybe I'm being salty, maybe mad cause bad. That's a real possibility. I'm playing this I'm making this commentary after getting smashed, but I've been smashed at a lot of games. Almost every ranked game I play, I usually start somewhere at like silver to gold and work my way up to diamond over some number of months. This one, I just don't think it's going to be worth my time to grind that much. And all of this is being presented to me as normal. I'm basically being told that this is normal, either by the developers putting it out or the community that eats it up for some unknown reason. And none of this is normal. All of this is completely bizarre. It's backwards logic. This should not happen for a AAA publisher. It should not happen in general in any game. But these kind of updates and things just keep coming out, and people keep treating it as normal to the point to where I feel like I'm being gaslighted because I'm starting to feel like I'm the crazy one. Like, am I the crazy one to think that when I play a game and get experience, my rank should go up and not 3 levels down and undelock things that I unlocked earlier? Like, am I the crazy one to think that a ranked mode should have stricter ranked matching than public matches? It's a very uncomfortable feeling to be pushed like that. So I don't know where I'm going with COD, but I'm currently not very happy with it. Guys, that is all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.